Proposed budget cuts, they could have a major impact on the Kansas City Police Department. Chief Rick Smith made that argument today at a lengthy Board of Police Commissioners meeting. More than 85% of the department's budget is spent on salaries. As the 41 Action News I-Team's Andy Alcock reports, cuts could potentially reduce the force by over 200 officers.
You know, to come up with these kinds of numbers, there's just only one way to do that, and that's through personnel.
Chief Rick Smith sounds off at the KC Police Board meeting about potential cuts to his force. With the global pandemic, the city manager notes Kansas City's revenues have taken a hit. The proposal to trim city department budgets across the board 4.5%. In a tweet, Mayor Quinton Lucas wrote that cut could mean the loss of 212 police officers. In the past 10 days, KCPD has been trying to come up with ways to absorb that budget hit.
We have some things we've talked about of implementing other programs to maybe get people to retire early, incentive packages, something of that nature to see if we can have some people retire and meet it through attrition without trying to lay anybody off.
The Fraternal Order of Police and others have pushed for years for additional police on the streets. As we've previously reported, KCPD was at its peak in the last decade at the end of 2013 with 1,427 officers. By the end of 2017, that number had dropped to 1,282. By last year, it was back up to 1,340, just over the current 1,335. Supporters of a larger KCPD force argue the more officers are on the streets, the less violent crime there is. Kansas City numbers seem to support the claim of at least some correlation. In 2014, for example, when KCPD was at its peak in force numbers, there were a total of 79 homicides. Less than halfway through 2020, there are already 81 Kansas City homicides.
We're in the middle of the, homicide trend that we're keeping on requires great amount of overtime expenditure.
If the proposed cuts become a reality for KCPD, they could slash the force well beyond any recent gains. At KCPD headquarters downtown, I'm investigator Andy Alcock, 41 Action News.